Hello, we are discussing about GATE 2001 ECE paper and the topic is related to digital circuits. Look at the diagram shown. In the figure, the output of an oscillator V1 has 10 volts peak to peak amplitude with 0 DC value. The transfer characteristic of Schmitt trigger is also shown in the figure. Assume that JK flip-flop is reset at time t is equal to 0. And for this one, first of all, A bit, what is the period and duty cycle of the waveform V2? What is the period and duty cycle of waveform V3? V3 is this one. This is V3 and it is reset. Okay, and third one is nothing but sketch V1, V2, V3 for the duration of 0 to 6 microseconds. Clearly indicate the exact timings when the waveforms V2 and V3 make high to low and low to high transitions. Okay, we are going to calculate time period and duty cycle of the waveform at output of Schmitt inverter and at the output of JK flip-flop, and later we are going to show all the waveforms with 6 microseconds duration from 0 onwards, and these are Schmitt inverter or Schmitt trigger characteristics. Okay, so given that one, the sinusoidal oscillator whose magnitude is 10 volts peak to peak with 0 DC value and the frequency is 0.5 megahertz. Okay, now we will see how to solve this problem. This is a 5-mark question, came in GATE 2001. So now we are considering only a part of the circuit, that is output of sinusoidal oscillator is going to be connected as input for the Schmitt inverter, and Schmitt inverter characteristics are shown over here. This is okay. Schmitt inverter is nothing but this is V2 and it is V1. V2 is nothing but output. This is V2. It is V1. So input and output characteristics of Schmitt inverter. If you are going to check this one, as you are moving in upward direction, so as V input is increasing, as V input is increasing, that is nothing but x-axis, as you are moving from 0 towards higher values. So V1 is nothing but input of Schmitt trigger. V1, that is x-axis is V1, V1 is nothing but input of Schmitt trigger. As the input voltage for the Schmitt trigger is going to be increases, V0 will be equal to 5 volts when Vi is going to be less than, so what is the value less than 3.5 volts. If Vi is less than 3.5 volts, then V0 will be 5 volts, otherwise V0 will become 0 volts when Vi is greater than 3.5 volts. So this is going to be called as upper threshold point, and as V input is going to be reduces, as V input reduces from a higher value, that is nothing but you are coming from the right to left. So for the decreasing input, whenever the input is decreasing, at that time V0 will be at 0. V0 will be at 0 volts when Vi is going to be greater than, Vi is greater than, that is you are moving from right to left. As you are moving it, this will be till this point V0 will be 0. That point is nothing but whenever V input is greater than 2.5 volts. If V input is greater than, that is less than 2.5 volts, by that time V0 will go to 5 volts when Vi is less than 2.5 volts. This is what the characteristic of Schmitt inverter. So we must identify 3.5 and 2.5 volts. 3.5 volts we must identify whenever the input signal is in the increasing mode. Whenever the input signal is decreasing mode, we must indicate the 2.5 volts. Okay, and now this is nothing but this is a waveform drawn. This is output of 0.5 megahertz sine wave oscillator. So make it as V1. V1 is nothing but output of 0.5 megahertz sine wave oscillator. 0.5 megahertz is nothing but time period. For this one you can say it as time period is nothing but reciprocal of frequency. So 1 by 0.5 is nothing but 2 microseconds. So 1 cycle implies nothing but 2 microseconds, half cycle is nothing but 1 microsecond. So this is what the time axis. or you can say it as omega t or t. One complete cycle is going to be starting from this point and ending at this point. Otherwise your cycle may start at this point or end may at this point, which consisting of 2 pi radians. Every cycle will be consisting of 2 pi radians. Okay, now we will indicate the waveforms, that is 3.5 volts and 2.5 volts. 3.5, this is the magnitude of this input signal is given as 10 volts peak to peak. 10 volts peak to peak is nothing but the highest value is plus 5 volts. Highest value is, this is plus 5 volts, and lowest value is nothing but minus 5 volts, because it was given that one 0 DC. So 0 DC is nothing but this is the value where you are getting 0. So sinusoidal signal, it is increasing from 0 to plus 5 volts, later it is coming down to minus 5 volts, again it is going towards plus 5 volts with the average value of 0. This is what 10 volts peak to peak sinusoidal signal with 0 DC. Okay, now if you give this one output of Schmitt inverter, we are going to write. So whenever the input signal is increasing, the transition is taking place at 3.5 volts. So make it as, this is going to be 3.5, and in increasing mode it is 3.5, 3.5, and it is 3.5, and next it is 3.5. So in increasing side, that is whenever the input signal is increasing, transition takes place at 3.5, and whenever the input signal is decreasing, transition takes at 2.5. So this is what 2.5, exactly half. So 2.5, it is nothing but 2.5. So this is 2.5. So this is for 2.5 and it is for 3.5. Okay. So now if the input signal is going to be less than 3.5 volts, output will be 5 volts. So we can draw like this. This is the waveform. Okay. So output will be 5 volts, and afterwards if the input signal is greater than 3.5, it is going towards, if it is, okay, by that time the output is nothing but it will be plus 5 volts, so that we will draw over here. This is plus 5 volts from this one, and it is going towards 0. It will go towards 0, and next this will be maintaining 0 until the input signal, while it is decreasing, whenever it is less than 2.5 volts, by that time again this will be increases towards 2.5. So this is what you will get, and it will be equal to 2.5 volts, and when it reaches 3.5 again, okay, here it is not going with scale. So this is 3.5. 3.5 is nothing but like this you will get, and afterwards again it is going to be going back to, okay, 5 volts, and next again this is going into, so this is the waveform you are going to get. Okay, so this is the waveform you are going to get. Is this clear? This is output of Schmitt inverter. That implies nothing but this waveform is for V2 and the sinusoidal signal is nothing but V1. Okay, now we are going to calculate duty cycle and time period. Time period is nothing but one complete cycle. If you are going to check, the time period is nothing but it is starting from this point. Okay, time period is nothing but starting from this point and maybe ending it over here. So the time period of square waveform, that is whatever you are getting it as square waveform, that is output of Schmitt inverter, time period of that one and time period of input signal is going to be same. That is, here we are going to be drawing the waveform for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles, and the output is also consisting of 5 complete cycles. So time period of input waveform is same as time period of output waveform. So time period of V2, time period of V2 is equal to 2 microseconds, which is same. Okay, time period of V2 is nothing but 2 microseconds, which is same as time period of original signal, input signal, that is Vi. Now we are going to calculate duty cycle. Duty cycle is nothing but how much period the waveform is in the active state compared to the total time period. So if you are going with, this is what one complete cycle we are going with. So if it is one complete cycle, this is one complete cycle, okay. So this is one complete cycle. Out of this one, this is only in the on state. This is on state, that is nothing but the waveform is active, and during this portion it is going to be called as T off. So duty cycle is defined as T on divided by T on plus T off. So T on divided by complete T. Okay, so in this way we can go with, either it may be written in terms of seconds also, time with respect to time also you can define, otherwise we can define with respect to radians also. Radians is nothing but 2 pi, that is nothing but on time, T on in radians, like this also you can write. So T on in radians divided by the total time period is nothing but 2 pi radians. So like this you can calculate, okay. And remember that one, whenever the output signal, this is whenever input signal is going to be reaching 3.5 volts, so we will go in this way. This is now T on can be written in this way. If you observe T on, okay, T on is nothing but, from here we will see, this is one complete cycle is nothing but this, okay. This is somewhat better, we will go for this one. T on is nothing but this one, this duration is nothing but T on. So T on duration is nothing but, if you are going with, you are going to get pi radiances, okay. This complete pi you are getting, and somewhat you are going to be something get extra, this you make it as something as T2, okay, and something extra you are getting to reach this one, this is for the T1. So T on is equal to, we can write it as T1 plus T2 plus pi radians. So T1 and T2 and pi radians, assume that one, this is nothing but something as T1, all those things are going to be in radians, so make it as better one, WT1 and WT2 plus pi. So this is what T on. Then how do we calculate omega T1, omega T2? That is nothing but radians equivalents, okay. So come for this one. If you are going to say, this is nothing but, it is changing from, the sinusoidal signal is changing from 2.5 to 0 volts, which is same as whenever it is going to be sinusoidal signal, it is increasing from 0 to 2.5 volts. Both will be same. The time taken for a sinusoidal signal to reach from 0 to 2.5 volts is same as the time takes from to decrease from 2.5 volts to 0 volts. So if you are going to check this one, if you are able to calculate this one, the same, this is also same as T2, that is nothing but omega T2. And here, this is the waveform which requires, how much time does it requires to change from 0 to 3.5 volts, okay. So with the help of this information we can calculate those things. So let assume that one, omega T1 is nothing but radians, okay. We'll write over here, omega T1 is nothing but radians, which you are going to be getting sine inverse of, okay, 3.5 divided by 5, because the sinusoidal signal is nothing but V input is equal to 5 sine omega t. Out of this one, when it is going to be V input is reaching at that time 3.5 volts, that will be treated as omega T1. Sine omega T1 is nothing but 3.5 is equal to 5 sine omega t. Omega T1 can be written as sine inverse 3.5 divided by 5. So omega T1 can be written as, it is 0.755 radians, 0.755 radians. Similarly, omega T2 can be calculated. Omega T2, this is 0.755 radians. Similarly, omega T2 is nothing but same. V input is 5 sin omega t, and if V input is equal to 2.5 volts, the time taken to reach 2.5 volts is nothing but omega T2. So omega T2, similarly you can write it as sine inverse of 2.5 divided by 5, which is nothing but it is 0.523 radians. 523 radians. So T on is nothing but T on is equal to omega T1 plus omega T2 plus pi. That implies nothing but 0.755 0.775 plus 0.523 plus 3.14. So the total is going to be equal to 4.438. 4.438, that is T on, and duty cycle of this waveform, duty cycle is nothing but T on divided by T. T on is nothing but 4.438 divided by radians divided by 2 pi. 2 pi is nothing but 4.438 divided by pi is nothing but 3.14. 2 pi is nothing but 6.28. So it will be around 70.7%. So the duty cycle of the output of Schmitt inverter is 70.7%. Okay. Now if you give this square wave, if you give the waveform given to input of JK flip flop at that time, what you are going to be getting at the output side. So now we are going with that one. This is what we are going for the input waveform. So now check this one. Now this is the waveform V2. Now we are interested in the calculation of V3. V3 is output of JK flip flop, and J and K are going to be at ones. So J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1. We know that one output next state of JK flip flop is equal to present state, that is complement of present state, when J is equal to K is equal to 1 and on clock edge. That is only when clock edge is going to be occurring, then only output will be complement of present state. Whenever J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1. Whenever J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, we know that one the next state is nothing but complement of present state, but the next state will depends on present state only upon the clock edge. So check this JK flip flop whether it is positive edge triggered or negative edge triggered. It is, there is no bubble for the clock, that implies nothing but it is positive edge triggered. Positive edge triggered JK flip flop. So we have to indicate the positive edges. Positive edges is nothing but 0 to 1 changes. So these are the positive edges. These are positive edges for the input waveform of the JK flip flop. JK flip flop input is nothing but output of Schmitt trigger. This is the output of Schmitt trigger, and we are identified the positive edges on this waveform, that is 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 0 to 1 changes. Now whenever there is a change occurs, at that time the next state will become complement of present state. So before this one we are going this waveforms. So this is V3 now. V3 is nothing but output of JK flip flop. So initially the JK flip flop is going to be under reset condition, so that Q is going to be 0. Q is going to be 0. So 0 is the present state until a positive edge occurs. So that whenever a positive edge occurred, next state is nothing but complement of present state, because J and K are kept at 1. So this 0 will become 1. That is, it will go to 1 and it will be at 1. And over here you are getting negative edge, but JK flip flop output responds only for positive edges. So it maintains the same state till the next positive edge. That is nothing but over here you are getting the second positive edge, and for second positive edge the present state is nothing but 1. So complement of that one is nothing but it will going towards 0. So this is what the 0, and again this 0 is going to be maintained till the next clock edge is going to be, next positive clock edge occurs. So this will be Q is equal to 0. Next, over this point, that is nothing but over here, the output is again going towards 1, because present state is nothing but 0. So it will going towards 1 and it maintains that 1. So Q is equal to 1 now. Next, this 1 will become 0 only on the next positive edge. So on next positive edge it will be going towards 0. So this is what the output of JK flip-flop. This you can say it as output of JK flip-flop. So now compare the time period of JK flip-flop and time period of Schmitt-Trigger inverter, Schmitt inverter. So here for this one complete cycle is nothing but from this point to this point is one complete cycle, that is T. Okay, and next to T is nothing but for this one, this is T Schmitt-Trigger, and whereas T Schmitt-Trigger is nothing but this one more cycle. But whenever you are going with one complete cycle is nothing but it is from this point to this point. This is T JK flip-flop. Time period of JK flip-flop is nothing but this much. Now can we say that one T time period of JK flip-flop is equal to 2 times of Schmitt-Trigger time period? So Schmitt-Trigger time period 2 times is nothing but, if you are going to say frequency, that is time period is nothing but T times of T is equal to, already we have seen Schmitt-Trigger time period is nothing but 2 microseconds. So that implies nothing but time period of JK flip-flop is 4 microseconds. And if you observe duty cycle of JK flip-flop, duty cycle of output of JK flip-flop by that time. Okay, you can say that one duty cycle is nothing but T on divided by T on plus T off. So T on is for the TS time duration, this is what T on. So T on for this one, that is the clock is going to be active for the duration of TS, and the clock is going to be not active for the duration of T off, that is also equal to TS. So T on is equal to T off, T on is equal to T off, that implies nothing but it is going to be treated as 50%. So the duty cycle of JK flip-flop output is 50%. Okay, so we have calculated the time period and duty cycle of output of Schmitt inverter, time period and duty cycle of output of JK flip-flop. And the last problem C is nothing but you are going to draw the exact waveforms. Okay, all for the 0 to 6 microseconds. Already you have drawn it, because one complete cycle is nothing but 2 microseconds. So this is 0 and this point is nothing but 2 microseconds. This will be 4 microseconds, it will be 6 microseconds. So now the T is in microseconds. If you draw this one, calculate the corresponding values. Okay, substitute omega T1, whatever the values you are getting in radians, and get the values in time. Okay, convert radians into time so that you can draw the same waveforms. Already we have discussed it for the 3 complete cycles. Okay, so these waveforms with exact values, while we are calculated the values in radians, you must convert them into the time. That's all. Otherwise you can indicate those values, that is sufficient. Thank you.